Hey everybody, Revan here, and welcome back to episode 5 of StoneBlock 2, where today we are finally getting ourselves an Applied Energistics ME system. So sit back, enjoy the video, and let's see what we can't get done. That's right everybody, today is the day that we are finally getting our ME system. Just in here collecting a few items that I'm going to need. I'm going to need some dyes and some more wool here along for glass. I'm not 100% if channels are turned on in this pack, so I'm just going to kind of act like they are. So I'm looking what I'm actually going to need for smart cables here. So the dense smart cable, let's see. Where is just our basic smart cable here? All right, just so our basic smart cable, we'll just add this. We're just going to need redstone and glowstone and covered cable, which is just the glass cable in the wool here. So let's grab us a little bit of redstone, a little bit of glowstone, and I think we should have everything else that we need. Now, in between episodes, I did do a little bit of work on making up some of the processors so we can get the drive done. I also did start on this room. I put a nice little ceiling in. Obviously the floor, the walls are pretty much the same. And then I made these kind of shootouts here that I'm going to be used to be setting up the machines. And I have room for, another set to kind of come out. So I still have room to work around, but I have my latex processing unit over here in the wall. I have my thermal machines over here, and then I also have more room for thermal machines over there. This guy right here is just our power generation. So if we open this up a little bit and you never can manage to collect everything here. But yeah, I put my dynamos in here. I made a few more. Most of them are upgraded to signalum just because we have the capabilities of making those upgrades. We haven't really reached the point yet where we can make the resonant, so we're still dependent upon that from the mob farm, and I haven't upgraded the mob farm whatsoever. So it is slow, and our luck has not been great from the cases. But yeah, this is just making lava, pouring it into the dynamos, and then I have that split up in between two of these energy cells here, and then the cables just kind of go back behind the wall there. So, nothing too fancy, just a nice simple little layout to kind of hide the machines. And then we have our Applied Energistics stuff over here. We have all of our advanced inscribers, and we have our growth chamber, and then we just have a few more slots here that we can use at a later point in time. I think for today, what I'm going to do is this section right here is where I'm going to build our Applied Energistics ME system here. Eventually, I want to have cables running to every room and have a system in there. Yes, I could make the wireless terminal, and I may eventually end up doing that. I just want to be careful because, like I mentioned before, if I have, let's say, the security terminal in the same chunk as these guys, I do run the risk of them just constantly breaking. The game doesn't delete them, so to speak, but what it'll do is it'll break the machines, and the machines will drop on the ground. And if you're not around to see that happen, then, the clear leg after the 5 minutes that's built in will just eat them up, and that's never fun. So to continue on where we left off, let me just toss this stuff up in here for now. We need to grab our ME drive, and we have a couple of these glass cables left, but we're going to have to open this up. And of course, we lost our light source in here. But the drive, we can just toss down there, and then eventually, we can put another drive up here, or we can put more of the terminals, like the pattern terminal, or maybe a fluid terminal or something like that. But like I said, this is not going to be its permanent home. Down below in one of those rooms, I'll probably have that designated as my server room, so to speak. So I'll have a wall full of drives, and I'll have room for a nice big controller and everything. But for now, this will get us started. It'll get us into it. We'll be able to start automating things. I'll just have to connect up our storage over there with a storage bus, and we should be good to go. So in order for this to continue on, can I dye these individually? I cannot. So we're gonna have to make a few more of the glass cables here, and it would help if I'm actually on the crafting bench. Let's just make a few more of these slivers. We'll say another 64. I know we're gonna need a lot more, but this whole process will get a lot easier. Actually, we'll just make them all. Forget what I was saying. The whole process will get a lot easier once we actually get the system up and start dumping everything into it and connecting it up. So crafting the bare minimum for what we need right now is kind of what I would recommend most people do. Like, craft up what you need to get the system up and running, get it connected to your storage systems, or just toss everything in drives if that's the direction that you choose, and then worry about really making some of the like the interfaces and the fully automated part, because that part is going to require a lot of crafting. And once you put all that into a single location, your life is just going to be a lot more pleasant. But for now, we have our energy acceptor over there, and we have all of these guys. So we're going to need probably a few of the smart cables right off the get-go here. So let's come over here and make ourselves some of the covered cables. All right, for whatever reason, no wonder it's not finding my Fluix. My Fluix is all in blocks here. All right, so we're gonna need to make some more of the glass cables. We just gotta wait for it to go onto the Fluix crystals here. So we can toss that up in there, and that should give us a very good head start. And then the covered cables are just any color wool and the cable itself. Now, in order to make a black one, okay, so I can just dye the smart ones as I get them. That's good. So I'm just going to make the basic colored ones for now, and then we'll kind of color them as we need them. And then to make them smart, we just need redstone and glowstone. So now we have a stack of smart cables, and let's just dye those black. We're going to have to, if there are channels in this pack, we really are going to have to invest in some dye chickens, or at least get those guys up and running. All right, now I don't think we're going to need, because what we're actually going to need is one of the energy cells. So we have the basic energy cell and the dense energy cell. The dense is the one that I want to go for. We're just going to actually have to see if we have everything that we need for it. We're going to need Fluix dust and Ceridus quartz. So we should have all of that in here. And we're going to need 8 of these guys. Oops. Try that again. Oh, why do I keep doing that? There we go. And one more, it'll be 8. And then we should have the calculation press in there. There we go. Now, the reason I suggest the dense energy cell is because even if you have your applied Energistics system hooked directly up to your server or your power, there can be some like client server or just general lag issues that you're going to encounter, where you'll be in your ME system and it won't let you put items in very quickly, or it won't let you take items out, because what's actually happening is the power is actually fluctuating. So in order to deal with these fluctuations, these energy cells come in handy. They're essentially a battery backup for your applied Energistics system. So as long as this has power, you should never really get those fluctuations. It might happen here and there, especially if you're playing on a server and, you're playing a pack like this, which has lots of things that can cause lots of lags. It's still possible, but you won't notice it quite as much. So we'll just add this into our network in between our controller and our terminal, and that should kind of take away a lot of that. So the next thing that we're going to need is at least an initial terminal here. Obviously, we are going to have quite a few of these guys. I'm not sorry, not a terminal, a controller. We're going to have quite a few of these guys, basically because, as you know, every side can only hold 32 channels, and if channels are required with the amount of machines that we're running, we're going to have a lot more than 32 channels. So this guy is going to be pure flux crystal, in Skystone. Now, where am I supposed to be getting Skystone from? I get Skystone from Skystone dust with lava inside of a stone barrel. Is that really the only way that you're going to allow me to make Skystone? Does look like the only way to get Skystone is with the barrel. So that's kind of a bummer, to be completely honest with you, because I have done no prep and in order to get this. I thought with the dust we'd just be able to smelt the dust down to get the stone or something. I probably should have looked into that, but happy days. All right, well, let me set something up to get this rolling out so that I can start collecting this, and I'll bring you guys right back. Let me just put this stuff away before I show you guys what I did here. So I made a little bit of room in the back. I just dug out a little hole, not very pretty. Transferred over some Skystone, but I just took one of our tier 5 cobblestone generators and made a little bit of a lava production facility over here. And that's just obviously it's going into the iron drum I had left off, and then that lava is then being sucked out and tossed into these stone barrels, which are being fed from our Skystone dust drop off over here. And then the Skystone dust is going into the lava, and it is creating these basic Skystone blocks here, which are being sucked out, tossed into this drawer. And then from that drawer, it is being tossed up into a redstone furnace, which is then going to be outputted right here to this drawer. So we can just take our sturdy blocks here. All right, so now we have a little bit of Skystone, so we can actually continue on with making our controller. So previously we were, where were we? We just needed the Skystone, I believe. We have the pure flux crystals, and we have the engineering processor. So we should be pretty safe here. We can make 8 to begin with. I only want to make 1 just because, like I said, I still kind of want to prep the area down below for the, the full size applied Energistics room. But for now, this will work just fine. And we can toss this guy right there and it'll get power, and then we can toss on our energy acceptor right there. And actually, no, we don't want the energy acceptor there. We want the dense energy cell. Where did I put you? There you go. So we can toss him on, and then we have our smart cable, which we should just be able to lead. There is one thing I kind of want to try. I want to make sure that if I do that, yeah, all of these guys are going to be connected right there. And I can toss you right on top of this drive. And that will actually, because it is a black smart cable, it'll actually make the terminal itself black. But we need to make the terminal. So where are we here? We need a crafting terminal. So crafting terminal, let's add that onto the hotbar. For that, we're gonna need a calculation press, which we have, a crafting table, which, gonna be easy enough, but we're gonna need these annihilation cores here. And I remember before I said we're gonna need quite a bit of them, and I think the example I gave showed that it was using pure nether quartz, but as you can see, it'll use regular nether quartz, pure nether quartz. Yeah, it's pretty versatile. So we can just take 2 of those, and let's see, what were those, annihilation? So let's make 2 of the formation cores. There we go. And the illuminated panel, which is another piece, we get 3 right off the get-go, which is going to be nice. That way we'll have an extra when we go to make our pattern terminal and everything like that. And then in order to make the illuminated terminal into a ME terminal, which allows you just to access your drives and stuff like that. Won't let you do any crafting or anything, but we need annihilation and formation and a logic processor, which we have all of that. And then do we have any wood in here? Of course, we're missing literally one piece of wood. Just run back on over and, well, you know what? We'll just grab a stack and we'll keep that on hand just in case we need it. But we should just be able to toss that in, make ourselves a crafting bench, and then we have our crafting terminal. So once we hook this up, as you can see, it's kind of like a darker color than it normally would be. We now have access to our drives. Unfortunately, we don't have any drives in there, so we need to make up some of the storage drives so we can start transferring all these chests and stuff into the ME system. Now, for the drives, obviously you have 1K, 4K, 16K, 64K. I'm not sure if they have the higher ones in this packet. To be honest, I haven't checked. I normally don't go much higher than 16K terminals just because, you know, we can use storage buses to hook up to our panel of drawers and everything like that. So you're usually not going to be required to have everything stored within the drives. But we are going to need a bunch of these 1K terminals to get go. So let's see how many we can actually make right off the get-go. It's showing 16. And that looks like it's just because of the fact we don't have redstone. But since we're going to need more, do we have any blocks on us? We don't. Well, let's go grab some more redstone. All right, we are back with a really full inventory and a full drawer here. So I am in dire need of getting this thing up and running here. So let's see about making more of these 1K drives. So we can make 54 to begin with, and we're missing the Certus quartz. So we'll stop there. Then we'll convert these into 4K drives, and we can make 18 of those, and we need three a piece in order to make the 16K drives. So we could get 6 16K drives out of that. So I think that's a good place to kind of to shoot for right now, since like I said, I usually don't go much over the 16K. So let's see here. 16K, we're gonna need glowstone. Do we have enough? We do. All right, so we're gonna have, yeah, we're going to be able to start off with a fairly good chunk of storage right in the beginning here. Now, in order to get these drives, we need to make casings for it. So we can make the casing separately, or we can just toss the drive in with some quartz glass, and redstone, and iron. So let's just pop those in. Oh, that was another thing I will note. These don't stack, so make sure you have enough room in your inventory. But once we come over to here, we can just pop these guys in. We have room for 4 more drives. But now we have a lot of room that we can just kind of start dumping all of our stuff into and have ease of access to it. The one thing I always have to remember is E does not back you out of the inventory like it normally does. Like if I come up to a chest, click on it, and I push E, I leave. But if I come over to the drive here, if I push E, well, it just types E. So I am going to go through a little bit of fun and try to transfer over all of my drawers over here and toss those into the system. So that's going to be fun. And once I get all that stuff transferred in, I'll bring you guys right back. Thankfully, that wasn't too horrible. I did manage to get all of my chests or crates over into the system. Now, there is something I want to show you. Right, so if you notice, I am showing 63 out of 63 in pretty much half of the drives I made. I did end up making 4 more of the 16K storage cells just because of the fact that I noticed that, you know, I had pretty much used up 6 of the drives already. But if you notice, it says that I'm only using 8,183 out of 16,000 bytes. Now, the reason for this is the type of items that you put in there. Especially in the early stages of a pack, you end up collecting a lot of random items that you don't really dispose of because you're not sure if you're going to use them. And a lot of these items don't stack. So these discs, although, you know, pretty awesome, they are essentially just, you know, if you got to think about them as like a big chest, right? So you can only put they'll only hold up to 16,000 bytes if those items stack. If they don't stack, once you hit that 63 types, it won't take any new types of items. If you have items in there that can stack more, like let's say cobblestone or something like that, yes, the cobblestone will go into the drive. However, you won't be able to add any new types. So that's why a lot of times you'll see people with, you know, a whole wall of these ME drives here, because just the sheer number of item types that exist in the game. Plus, you know, you obviously you still will eventually hit that bytes used, but for now we should be good there. Additionally, I did, if I can dig down here, I did make a tunnel underneath. This is just kind of a, you know, we'll call it our maintenance tunnel. I don't think I'll ever actually get around to decorating it or whatever, but for now at least we have access to our storage room over here and our controllers that are located right there. So we're going to be able to run cables through here and, you know, kind of hook up our storage buses relatively easily. I don't know how much more room I have. I could probably go down 2 more blocks if I really wanted to, but for now, this will make do. And then I'm going to have to make some, you know, teleportation pads or elevator pads to get up and down. So for now, we'll make do with what we got here. We'll just toss this in here for now and get to making the storage buses. Now, I think I'm going to run this on a 32 channel or a dense smart cable, just so that I have plenty of room to add on extra storage rooms. But all of my storage rooms, I want to say I'm going to just try to keep on the same channel for the controller, and then, you know, we'll have a different color for the machines, or, you know, possibly even have to get into, you know, a different color for mods. So, you know, thermal over here has got quite a few machines, so the machines plus all of the interfaces that we're going to be putting on top of them, that may take up a whole 32 channels, because I mean, theoretically, if you have 16 machines, each machine has an interface. Right then and there, you're already at 32 channels. So we're going to have to kind of keep tabs on that, because AE2, especially when you get into endgame, if you don't start off planning for having lots of channels and everything like that, it will end up coming to bite you in the rear later on in the pack. So to start off with, we're going to need to make some of these dense smart cables. So in order to do that, we need to make more of the covered cables. I'm not sure how much we have left, but we can just kind of convert all these. We have 64, almost 4 stacks. So that's kind of cool. And then we need to make them into, let's see here, the dense ones. So 4 of the regular covered cables equals 1 dense. So which kind of makes sense. 8 channels, 8 channels, 8 channels, 8 channels. Add them all together, you get 32 channels. So let's make, okay, so we can only make 57 of those for now. So we may not actually even be able to reach our storage room over there. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. And then for the smart cables, you know, as always, for the regular smart cable or for the dense smart cable, in order to make those, you just have to take the covered cables with a little bit of redstone and some glowstone. So, got to add those back into the system. So there we go. Then we want to dye these. Let's say, let's go for blue. So for that, we're going to need some lapis, which I could have swore we had a little bit of lapis in here. Oh, well, we'll just go black for now. I think we have ink in here. Yes, we have plenty of ink. All right, so we'll just make these in a circle, and we now have 57 of the dense smart cables that we can connect to the bottom of our controller back there. Then the other thing that we're going to need is we're going to need some storage buses. For the storage bus itself, let's just see what we're going to need. We're going to need some sticky pistons and some regular pistons, which means we're going to have to go collect some more resources, because I don't think I have any of those in stock right now. And then we're going to need to make couple of these interfaces. So we're gonna need more formation cores and more annihilation cores. So let's just grab up 16 of each. And that's a little bit too much, but you know, we'll survive. So, and then we just need regular glass and iron, which we should have. So let's just grab 2 of these guys to begin with. And then, like I said, we're going to have to look to go make some more pistons. So let me make some more pistons and some more sticky pistons, and we'll be back. So I think I've collected everything that we're going to need here. We'll just toss the cobble. We'll break down the iron real quick. There we go. Toss in. Oh, probably should not have tossed in the slime, but... And we can just toss all this stuff in. And toss down some redstone. And then we'll just, let's see, find our slime again. There we go. So now we should have everything that we need to make some pistons. We'll just make as much as we can here. And sticky pistons. We'll just make a stack of. So now when we come back up here and go storage bus, 1, 2. So now we have a storage bus for each of our controllers that we have on the other side. So now we just need to come underneath here and dig us ourselves a hole over to the controller so that we'll have access to it. And now we just got to keep our fingers crossed that we actually have enough cabling to make it to the other side. I am going to go out on a limb and say we have about half of the cable that we're going to need. But, you know, you got to start somewhere. So we'll just run this across. And this is how far we made it. So, yeah, it looks like I was right. We are short by about half. So we're going to have to make a few more of these. Plus, I think we're going to have to make just some regular old smart cables here, because I don't think I can hook these guys directly up to the controller. I think I need just like a regular smart cable or glass cable to do that. So let's get busy. All right, we got 2.5 more stacks of wool here, and we made a bunch more of these glass cables. So how many of the covereds can we make? We can make 2.5 stacks. So let's keep this one on standby, and let's just toss these guys in here and make the dense ones. And for the smart, just toss that up there. All right, so we have an extra 32 of the dense cables that might get us to where we're going, but it's gonna be pretty it's gonna be pretty close. Now we need some of the ink, just because cables of different color won't actually mix with each other here. So all right, let's see. Do we have any regular smart cables? We have 56 of the normal smart cables, so we'll just take those, and we'll see if that'll get us to where we need to go on the sides. Because the dense cable, realistically, I just need to run down this hallway over here. So I just needed to get to that location, and then I'll be happy. And wow, it literally is going to just make it. I'm going to have to do like a little bit of messy wiring here to kind of get this over to the other side. But yeah, I'm happy with that. And then let's just take these regular smart cables and we'll run them along over here. This one will kind of do a little loop around. And then we'll just access the controller from the back and toss our storage bus on it. And let's change the priority to plus 100. That way, when we put stuff into our system, it will try to go here before it goes anywhere else. And then we'll do the same thing over on this side. I'm just doing a little bit of cleanup here because we actually had to change some things around down there. I'll go back and show you in a second here, but we have to change all of these to purple on extract, because of the fact that when we got to the second controller, it actually already had a Ender IO conduit going in from the bottom and from the rear, both on different input channels. So the more complicated channel was over here based upon our stonework factories. Got to actually come down here. Let's just toss that in there. But yeah, our stonework factories and sieves were outputting on purple. So I had to change this guy over here to input on purple. And this one over here to kind of loop around and kind of go back up and input on purple as well. So it kind of made a little bit more of a mess, but yeah. So let's just change this to priority 100 as well. And then when we come over to this side and toss our cabling up, we now should have both of these sets of drawers over here hooked up to our ME system. And as you can see, we have 2 channels being taken up. We have one coming off of this side and one coming off of that side. So now when we actually access our ME system, we should be able to see both of those storage drawers. So let me just pop up there since I haven't created a better way to get up and down. But yeah, so let's say something that I know I don't have in here, like the awakened draconium. I now have that. So I now have access to all of the drawers, all of the ingots and ores, and every other item that I have over there, I have access to in my ME system, which, you know, as we all know, is what it's used for in the first place. So let's take our block right here and close that off. We can toss all of this good stuff back in, and then let's see here. I want to get a facade of some sort. How do I make these? I got to make these with cable anchors, which are with a quartz cutting knife, which we can't make because we don't have any sticks in there. So let me just save this real quick. All the facades are going to be the same. The only difference is going to be what's in the middle right here. So 4 cable anchors around any block will give you a applied Energistics facade. So I just need to make up some sticks. I don't actually have any planks. I have 1 plank and no oak logs left whatsoever. I want to say, like I should. So let's just make us a couple stacks of sticks here. And eventually, once we get into auto crafting and everything like that, we'll be able to train the system to make all of this good stuff here. We'll make ourselves a cutter, and what do we got? Silver. Let's just grab some iron, because it doesn't matter what ingot it's made out of, as long as it's, you know, one of the basic ones. So let's just make a couple, and we're already out of the we've already broken our cutting tool. And then for the blocks that we want here, I don't think that the facades actually join textures. So if I come like over here, and let's say I would do 2 of these grates, and yeah, see, it's not taking the factory block there. So what can I actually do? What do I want to do here for? I think we can try some of these illuminant blocks here. These are interesting. I don't think I've really used these before, but let's see if we toss those in. We can grab ourselves 4 facades, and we should just be able to place this right there and try to rebuild this real quick. And we have the facades, we have that. We're going to need 1 more of these smart cables. We should have 1 more of the black ones, and we'll just toss this guy right here so we have something to place the facade against. But we'll go like that, and we'll go like that, and that should really do it. And then we can always put our pattern terminal right there, and it should look fine. Oop. So I think I'm going to call that good for now for the applied Energistics system. I do need to grab 1 of the factory blocks and just fill that in right there. However, I'm going to have to say that we call it an episode there. We did pretty good for ourselves today. We have a working ME system. We have all of our drawers and all of our storage hooked up to it. So we are well on our way to making our lives a lot easier. So as always, guys, I really do appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and you do like my content, only do it if you like it. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And as always, stay awesome, be safe, and we'll see you guys next time.